All right. Hey there. How's it going? My name is Jamie, and as you can see, I've got a wall of CDs behind me and lots of vinyl as well. So, yeah, you guessed it. The purposes of this YouTube channel is to talk about music. I've been a lover of music, certainly over the years. Lots of CDs, lots of vinyl, and so I'll be presenting them. And hopefully you'll enjoy it, maybe get something from it, leave a comment or two. Certainly want to do a big shout out and hello to the vinyl community. I've enjoyed many of the videos from the vinyl community over the past year or so, and they've been a great inspiration. Also want to thank my daughters who gently nudged me into doing something like this, saying, Dad, you love music, you got, lots you can talk about, so thank you to them. So here we are. So with introductions pretty much out of the way, I'm going to present a group that is described as psychedelic folk, and what's interesting about this group is they are based in the location that I'm at Stratford, Ontario, Canada. So the band is the Perth County Conspiracy. Does not exist. Full title of the band, of the group. So as I mentioned, this is psychedelic folk. They really had a very theatrical presentation in what they did with their music. A lot of satire, a lot of humor, readings, recitations, music kind of interwoven through what they do. Perth County Conspiracy. So this is a reissue of their second album, and this was reissued on the Flashback label out of the UK. So I was thrilled to see this, thrilled to find this. Didn't even know they were reissuing it until I saw it on the shelf. So a shout out to Diamond Dogs Vinyl for carrying this. Thank you. So yeah, it's a reissue of their second album, and they were signed to Columbia. And then they recorded this for CBC Records, the Canadian Broadcasting Company. So while they were still signed to Columbia. And then their third album came out on Columbia, and then they went to their own independent label, the Rumor label. And so this is a reissue of the second album, and here you have the two pretty much main members of the group. This is Cedric Smith, who was also an actor at the Stratford Festival, which is a Shakespearean festival. Cedric Smith there, and then also Richard Keelan. So there you have the cover, and here's the back with all fun stuff going on. So with this album, it's a bit more straight-ahead songs. Their other albums have a lot of the theatrical stuff kind of interwoven in with the songs, the readings, and skits and what have you. This one's pretty much just like straight-ahead music, more straightforward songs, if you will, including a couple of covers. They have Hurdy-Gurdy Man on this one, and I Shall Be Released also featured on this one, and some, of course, their originals as well. So there's the back with all the fun stuff going on, quotes from Shakespeare, a ticket from the Stratford Festival there. Now the inside, it is a gatefold. I don't think the original would have been a gatefold. This is photos of them when they were appearing on TV for performance. So very nice full color photos there. And then inside there were a few goodies, which I was very happy to see. A very nice booklet included in the album. There we go. There's Cedric and Richard Keelan there. Perth County Conspiracy. And lots of great photos inside the booklet. There's a very young Cedric Smith there. And a really very nice comprehensive write-up. Now, these guys used to be, as I mentioned, based in Stratford, Ontario, Canada. And they performed at a place called the Black Swan Coffee House. And that was a very unique coffee house that presented performers like Perth County Conspiracy, also other great Canadian artists and international artists in a very cool setting, if you will. And so more photos here, and the proprietor of the Black Swan Coffee House was a man by the name of Harry Finley. He's still very much with us, and there's a nice picture of Harry Finley right there. So again, as I mentioned, it's a really nice write-up. Lots of great pictures. Very cool. Nice little flower there. Alright, so I can show you the album right now. And now, I'm kind of a nerd. I like to keep the hype sticker from the albums, and sometimes I'll fix them to the sleeve. I don't know if that's sacrilege or not, but that's what I do. If I can get them off the cellophane, okay? There's a picture of the label there. And then I thought that was everything inside, until I discovered that they also include a nice little flyer or poster, if you will, advertising Perth County Conspiracy, Happy News. There's a thing about the Black Swan Coffee House from back in the day. Yes, very cool. And it's a really nice cover too, nice good thick cardboard. So very, very cool. All right. So sometimes if I'm picking up an album or whatnot, or vice versa, if I have the CD and I'm picking up the vinyl, I do like to compare the two, not so much in terms of sound, but in terms of general packaging overall. Because sometimes the CD has great information and then they kind of cut back on the vinyl, or I'm finding increasingly vice versa. They've got lots of stuff on the vinyl in terms of extra packaging, and they don't have it on the CD. Very pleased that the CD matches well. So there's CD, and there's the back. They don't have, obviously, the gatefold, but that's one of the pictures in black and white from the gatefold. But inside, it's a very nice booklet. So they give you the whole story with all of the pictures, obviously smaller print and whatnot, but it's nice to see that all of this was included, because sometimes they don't do that. There's once again Cedric there. And then they even also have a reproduction of the back cover in the booklet, which is nice. So that's really nice to see, and I can show you the CD from here. There's that. And then even from the booklet, they have that page on the back there. So that's kind of neat. It's nice when they can take the time to do something like that. All right, so that's their second album. Simply titled Perth County Conspiracy, or Perth County Conspiracy Does Not Exist. Now, I mentioned their Columbia albums, and I do have a couple of them. So I do have their first album, the Perth County Conspiracy. There you go, and signed by Cedric Smith. Each year they do what they call a Black Swan Coffee House Revival, where members of the Perth County Conspiracy perform. Also other artists who had performed there back in the day, and even newer artists. They all get together. It's a fundraising event that they do in August, and so I got Cedric to sign it at one of the revivals. And so here's the... and this is not a reissue. This would have been... not necessarily an original pressing, but from the day. So this again represents, it's a nice representation of the Perth County Conspiracy in terms of the theatrical presentation. There's skits, if you will, or recitations, readings interwoven with the music. It's very psychedelic folk, so I think you'll enjoy that. And I have a copy of their live album. This is called Perth County Conspiracy Alive, and this is their third album, still signed to the Columbia label. I can open this up. This is quite the... there you go. It's quite the gatefold, if you will, with a nice big butterfly there. And that's a picture in Stratford. This was recorded live in Toronto at the Bathurst Street United Church in Toronto. And this is, we're talking early 70s with this one. And this was a double album. I guess initially the band wasn't too happy that Columbia decided to put this out as a double album, because they felt, at least with the number of songs, that it could have been easily a single album, but Columbia apparently really wanted a double album. But it is very cool, as you can see, also signed from Cedric Smith there. Greetings from Perth County. And Harry Finley, who's at each and every Black Swan Coffee House Revival, I got him to sign that there as well. I have to get Terry Jones to sign them next time. There you go. And as I mentioned, I do have that's it for the Perth County Conspiracy in terms of vinyl for what I have. They did release a few albums after that. They released what's called What School Bus Tour. It is available on CD. There you go. For whatever reason, they called it Rumor 2 on the disc, but this technically is the What School Bus Tour. And this is also a very good representation of the band. This one was recorded at a number of spots, including Ottawa, Sudbury, and Winnipeg. This originally came out in 1973. There you go. And the booklet's not too bad. It's a nice little bit of a write-up there with some nice little bit of artwork there. And they released another live album after that called Breakout to Berlin. That one's hard to find. Haven't been able to come across it. And the only other one that I have is kind of a Perth County Conspiracy album available on CD. This is Cedric Smith and Terry Jones, 10 Lost Years and Then Some. And this was also released initially on the Rumor album. This came out in 1976. So it gives all the songs there. And 10 Lost Years was a play that Cedric and Terry Jones did some of the music for, and then side 2 was more sort of Perth County Conspiracy style songs. Okay, so that's about going to wrap it up for this edition. Thanks so much for tuning in, and hopefully we can chat again real soon, and I'll show you some more CDs and some more vinyl. Hopefully you'll enjoy. Leave a comment or two, and please subscribe. Thanks.